Hello and welcome to the Design 101 party, opening party for Design 101 Redux. The party is supposed to start now, but we're still waiting for a couple of people to join the hangout. We have Katie Carter from Utah, who's arriving now, and Mario Portillo from Brazil. And there are still two more spots available, I think, after this. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 2 more spots. So if you want to join, just ask us now in the comments section of the Hangout, so we can add you. Or if you want to follow us via this, follow us as a video conference, ask questions directly on this screen. There's a question and answer box that everyone should be able to interact with and ask questions. So we will have Miri, who will be monitoring the questions. So if there's something you want to say or ask, please do, and Miri is going to interrupt the conversation to your questions. And we will also have a live tweeting session done by Anna. So Anna is on the Design 101 account on Twitter, and she will be tweeting the most relevant parts of our party. So let's give ourselves another 2-3 minutes, and then we start. So we will have a quick introduction from myself to kind of explain where we are at, also from the production side and the work we've been doing together with the teachers. Then we'll have Stefano saying hello, and then we'll have a session, a big session dedicated to conversations, questions, comments, everything that we would like to talk about and discuss. Another 2 minutes. Katie, we are live. Okay, yeah, my link isn't working. Oh.
Maybe because there is the little s at the end of HTTPS. I've seen. Okay. Maybe if you keep off that s, it will work.
I'll send her another invite.
Katia and Mario are having troubles with the links. They are commenting on the Google Plus event.
I invited them the same way I invited you. Okay, I send them another invite. Okay, so let's start and hope they can join. I mean, I did everything I think like I should have done, so. I don't know what else I can do. Let me see. Katie's there. Katie, hello. Can I ask you how you did? How you got in? Can you hear us?
I got in with the link.
Which link? I sent you 2 links.
Oh, the one that you said, this one, try this one, it might also work.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, good. So it should work also for Mario. So let's start, and then if there are still 2 places left, so if people want to join, just ask us, and I will send you an invitation. Okay? So welcome, welcome to the party. As I already shared, actually Lola shared on our page before, we have a little program, very brief program that I added here in the comment section. So we will, yes, have a quick introduction from my side. Then Stefano is going to say hello and exactly say hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, 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 and where we're going, where we are now, and what we've achieved. And then we have a couple of, we'll have like half an hour for question, comments, news, anecdotes, and things like this. Anna will be live tweeting, and Miri will be monitoring the questions. So if you are watching and you have questions and would like to ask some questions, some comments, please do so in the question and answer button that is on this video screen. Thank you. So, quick introduction. We already, so we launched Design 101 Redux a week ago. Today we completed our first week. I think that things went very well. Now, of course, we would like to have an opinion from your side, from the teacher's side, and also you as a student if you are watching. But as a general, I think that we're pretty happy. It was a difficult week also to understand how to organize each other. So basically, the big change in this Design 101 Redux is that we have 4 of you, so 4 ex-students of Design 101 and Architecture 101 who became the teachers for the course. So basically that are doing pretty much a bit more than, I would say, 75% of the things that we were doing before in ID Lab. So in short, doing morning uploads. Now the teachers are also taking over the production side for the letters, so they will be in charge of doing all the work for editing the letters for the manual. The communication between the crew, the Design 101 crew, and us in ID Lab. Take also organizing the social media. and things like this. So this is already a very, very big step forward. We worked very hard this week, Anna, Christina, Mishara, and I, to make sure that everything goes smooth and nice. Then another very big quantum leap with the Design 101 Redux is that we have the course translated into 3 other languages. So basically, I would say 75% of the course material is translated. We have the letters translated. Now today also the peer-to-peer is going to be translated. So a big amount of material is translated, and each team is organizing their language teams by themselves. So I haven't had a lot of time to follow this week, but for example, there is a fantastic blog that the Spanish team made. Portuguese, I've been seeing a lot of tweets and links on YouTube, all the letters, great. Russian team is extremely on time all the time, very well organized. So this is absolutely fantastic, and thank you for everything you're doing. I hope you're very well until the end, and we're here to help and support you and you might need it. Then another big step forward that we made is that we finally have a website. So Design 101 World has a website. So it's becoming more official. We have our past courses archived, our FAQs, our news and publications, all in place. We have a page for the community, for the crew, the Design 101 crew, so all of us who are working very hard on these activities, and so it's the first step. Thank you, Mukat, for who may be watching now, for having worked so hard on this website, and it's the first step, and together we can take it further. So this is very nice. Then last weekend we worked hard on the social media plan because until now we didn't have a real social media plan for Design 101 World and courses. So last year in Architecture 101 things were done a little bit. So you take care of Twitter, you take care of Facebook, but there was not really a plan definition of what is Twitter, what do we do with Twitter, what is our identity on Facebook, what is our identity on Instagram. So now already last weekend we shaped the first version of what this plan could be. It's a first version, we worked a lot, I think it's nice, but it's not refined yet enough. And our plan is to make a second version of this social media plan this weekend and present it to everyone. Last weekend in this plan we basically defined what our social media were, the tasks that had to be done on every social media, etc. But the part that's missing also is the people who were taking charge of these activities. So now, throughout the week, we presented this plan, and throughout the week, some people said, I want to be in charge of Twitter, I want to be in charge of this, in charge of that. So now, slowly, we're defining people's roles, and our big job this weekend will be to put all these people together and make a document that everyone can understand, and everyone can understand, and that is going to be nice for all. So this is, from my side, this is what I had to say. I'm very happy to be where we are, to do this with you, and I would let Stefano say hello. Say hello and share his opinion, idea, where we are, where we're going.
Well, thank you for everyone being here. I think it's very nice to start again a new edition of Design 101. We can let's make a little journey from where we started and where we are. So I think it was 2.5 years ago. It was like the spring 2013. That we read the biodiversity and we made our first video, the one that we used to myself as a puppet that we used to get supported by adversity. In that short video, I think we were able to pull out and draw quite precisely what we wanted to do. So if we watch again that video today, it holds, and the thing we were saying by then, they apply still today, and they define a very fine roadmap. So in the video we say clearly there was about to make a community. It was not about, well, we would have thought we would have shared knowledge, but the main goal was to make the community. And then we, when we launched the first edition of Design 101, that was 2 years ago. 2 years ago now, there was myself, Giulia, and Sophie, plus a lot of other people helping us in the office, and Pierluigi, and we were frantically working 16 hours per day. And that was fantastic, but was also quite challenging. So we launched the video, then we launched the course. At the end of the course, we made this festival event happening in Berlin. That was great because I don't know, some 50, 70 people came, and so we start to plant the seed of the community. So on one side there was the online activity, and then there was the meeting people in real life. Like now, in this moment, I see on my screen Christina, that we met at first in Berlin, with several of you. Then we had the summer camp in Sicily, in Siracusa. That was nice because the community grew bigger. By then we had the chance to meet Petra, Dragica, Mario and Vivienne, and so on. So next was Architecture 101. There was more or less a year ago, and by then it was fine because we learned how to improve. So the amount of work done to make Architecture 101 was, to me, Architecture 101 design-wise was very impressive because we worked much less and we achieved much more. And when we did Architecture 101, there was this first thing, to move from desktop into a cell phone, noticeably Instagram, and then we start to work in the community. And that was quite nice, and it was quite a quantum leap. At the end of Architecture 101, we met last summer with several of you in Blanquerat, and again it was nice because we met Muriel, Yara, and all the other people. We had some exchange, we had some conversations. Some of them turned out to be in discussion, and I think was good and positive. Then, through the summer, I think that Anne-Sophie and you people, I wasn't very involved into the reshaping or refining or improving of the community work. In this moment, I think that what we're doing is truly excellent because most of the thing is run smoothly by a community. So Anne-Sophie mentioned the website, that I think it is another quantum leap in our activity. Finally, we have a proper website where we can store information, we can direct people, and so on. It seems to me that the community is doing a great job, and it is absolutely an excellent example of a community-driven project. Myself, in the last 2-3 days, I started to get into the evaluation, giving like comments to the work. This seems to be fine, and I have no doubt that by the end we will once again achieve great results. We are planning with Petra and some people in Croatia to have a final workshop where again we meet. And also, I think that the way the content was shaped, it is absolutely excellent, fantastic. So where we go? Design-wise, I know that there is this this element, the financial element, that I think is really relevant, and maybe not everyone in the community share this idea. But design-wise, we achieve success not only when the community, when the content, when people are happy, but also when we are able to prove that there is a machine that not only can work, but also can go financially even. So from my side, or EDLab side, there is not the idea to make all this effort to generate a startup or to sell something whatsoever, because it is obvious that there is absolutely no relation between the amount of work poured into this and the possible financial output that is very close to zero. But as a matter of design, if we make a fantastic thing, but then to run it costs a lot of money, the value is very low because it is not sustainable. So on one side, once in a while, I obsess on Sophie with Excel sheet, trying to see how can we can save, spend less. This is not to exploit people's work, but simply because I know that in the moment we are able to prove to the world that we can make something that is nice, people are happy, knowledge flows, and it stands on its leg from the financial point of view, that is the moment that we really achieve something. We are not there yet, but I'm quite confident. In the time being, the amount of financial energy necessary to keep the thing running, it is feasible and viable from our side, and this makes myself very happy. Where we go next, it seems to me that by its nature, this overall Design 101 thing needs to constantly innovate, change, improve, do something new. Else, it's like a bicycle, that the only condition to successfully ride a bicycle is that you must always move on. You cannot stand still. If you stand still, you fall down. And this seems to me it is a quite similar for us. So it is great to run the Design 101. Soon we will start to get to prepare the new edition of Architecture 101. At the same time, I think it is absolutely necessary to start imagining a new course, else the system stalls or get into has to move on. So on one side, it is excellent because we are improving enormously from the financial side. On the other side, it's great because the community is doing great, and it is actually, as we assumed, if things are run by the community, they work much better if they are run by people in an office or a startup or people who are paid to do it. I would imagine that very soon, so as soon as we get into the automatic pilot regarding Design 101 Redux, so that we sync the various flows, the social media, this and that, we will have to address the theme of how to add new courses, because this is the next challenge. I think it's not particularly complex. It will imply some work. In all of this, if you remember on the first video, we said we will not teach you how to become a designer. We teach you how a designer thinks. It's about the community. And I felt that this was a proper way to shape our position, because I would have felt very uneasy to promise that people, because they follow a course online, they become designer. At the same time, surely, the people in the community managers, or the people who run the community, that is the people here tonight, probably the people listening to us, I would say that after so many months and after now some years, all of this also turns out to be that you are truly becoming fantastic designers, because the amount of knowledge, so there is an explicit knowledge. No, so like what we teach about design, and then there is Mies van der Rohe, and then you learn how to make origami and mask this and that. Okay, this is fine and it's very enjoyable and it's nice. There is a second layer that for all of us who are making this, that basically no one has ever done before. So how you organize a community, how you organize tasks, how you make people happy, how you learn to make the Google Hangout and to the social media plan and the website and this and that. This is a fantastic knowledge of contemporary design, and this is really great. So I think that the next step, so if you are here tonight, the people I see faces on the little windows, all of us, we are carrier of a fantastic knowledge that the world around us needs quite well. And each of us will be able to use and, upon his or her desire. The next final challenge for the one of you who are interested is to learn how to shape a course. As if you remember last summer, I was saying, well, the big two challenges are to make the system sustainable and how to make a machine where a student finally can become a teacher. And when we reach this moment, that I would imagine would be in the next 1 to 3 years, that the system is sustainable, and we are former students who are able to come up with courses that can be of any kind, then we achieve the success. I think it will take some time. But if we were to imagine that we achieve this moment in 2 to 3 years, let's make 5 years. That is on one side a very long time, but if you're talking about school, if you're talking about knowledge dissemination, it is actually very short and very quick. Then, basically, every time I'm asked to explain where we are going, I pretty much repeat always myself. So in the first video, everything was laid down, and we are slowly but constantly moving toward this direction. This makes myself very happy, and I'm very, of course, honored to work with you. I'm very, and it is probably the nicest project I've ever done in my life, and I'm very happy to do it with all of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Then, of course, if there are questions, I'm very happy to answer.
Yes, so Miri, have we received any questions? I didn't see any pop-ups or anything. I see we have 14 viewers.
Yes, no questions yet, but I just post in the Design 101 Redux event how you can find the question and answers space. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And anyone here in the meanwhile would like to say something? Mario, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Good.
Ciao, Mario.
Ciao.
Hello.
Mario, you're working hard. I can see.
Yeah. I'm learning a lot.
Yes?
Yes.
I'm sure you are. Viviane also is working a lot.
Yes. She is here.
Ciao! So Stefano Mirti has added draw. Yay, we can
No,
start
sorry, it was a mistake.
Yeah, I thought you wanted to start drawing. No, Anna, we still have space anyways. So no questions from no one, no comments. Everything is fine, everyone is happy.
No questions till now.
Minutes, and Sophie.
Yes.
I just want to thank you and Stefano, for this class. It has been such a great experience. I mean, I know we're non-designers, but we're people who have a passion for learning. And we get this opportunity to learn from people who know what they're doing, and also about group dynamics. It has been so much fun in the community to watch the different leaders from all these different countries who have different communication styles come together to find solutions to problems. It's really just been great fun to watch and be a part of. So thank you.
Well, thank you for being part of this, Katie. You said that we know what we're doing. We don't really know what we're doing, but we we have yes, we follow our instincts. Thank you, Stefano.
Yeah, thank you very much. I don't. What can I say? Thank you.
Thank you, Katie Carter. It's a pleasure that you're back. You were away for a little while, and I was sad. Now you're back.
I am back. I am back.
No one else? No, that was a nice hangout. It was very short. It was the shortest hangout we've done.
May I ask you something?
Please.
What do you expect from us? We are students that became teachers, and maybe you will have some expectation on what we can achieve or what we cannot.
No, there are not a specific expectation, but if let's imagine that you get a job or you get a client, and the client asks you, and the client desire is to organize a MOOC as we are doing, running all these things, and etc., etc., etc. This would be a job that would be extremely expensive, and you would imagine that to do it, you need extremely skilled and expert on the field. So the idea that to such a task, you say, what about we work with almost random people from all over the world, and we come up with the best solution. This is something that would seem to be impossible. Actually, we achieved that this community, or at least some people in the community, the most active, were able to generate a fantastic process that pulled out an incredible design-based result with this very special and very peculiar feature that the people who were part in the community are the ones that learn how to make this. And at the same time, the quality of this is something that could have not been achieved in a traditional way, that you hire a company and they make this. So there isn't an expectation. On the one, when we started, we took an experimental stance. So we say, okay, we believe that this could happen. Let's see if it works. And then we, well, you know what we did because we've done it together. So I don't think that there is there are two kinds of design. There is experimental design, and then there is the design that you work on incremental improvement. So if we meet together and the brief or the goal is to build a table, what do I expect is that by the end of the day, by the end of the week, we have built a table. But we are not in this family of activity. We are more in experimental design. And by the way, it is an experimental design that is very peculiar because it crosses digital world, it crosses community managing, it crosses sociology or human science in the sense how to put together people so different. So on one side, there is no a true expectation. It is more like we together, we make an experiment, we have some assumption, and we see what's happened. So my feeling is that in the same way, that if we take people that don't know each other, but they have passion, and they're smart, and they have time, we could make fantastic things. I would imagine that pulling some more without pushing too much, as we always done, very soon these people can complete their path in this process, becoming themselves teacher. And but then this is not. It is not that if 1 year now this doesn't happen, I'm sad or I feel I failed. Again, we see what's happened. I think that each of us has his own expectation, and if we channel our energy into this, the power we have, it is enormous because it multiplies by 10, 20, 50, 100 people. I would imagine now that the community is around 100 passionate people. And this seems little, but it is actually enormous. I think that if you take history of revolution, I think Cuba was taken by 13 people, so well, we are way more. So we have basically no boundaries. It's really up to us what we do. And if we think back to when we started, that is only 2 years ago, but in contemporary world, 2 years is also a long time, a long period. The world is going exactly in the direction we imagined. You were not there because there was only me and Sophie and other people in the office when we first met diversity people in Berlin. You remember when we started Design 101, that was 2 years ago, we were very doubtful about the platform, but not because diversity people were not good to make a platform, because we felt that the world was going toward a different direction. It was not about a platform you own and then you force everyone to be there, etc. So I would imagine that, for instance, the original assumption upon which the German government invested quite a lot of money into this venture, after 2 years, after 3 years, are not completely proven, or that it doesn't really look that it goes this way. Of course, I'm very happy, I'm very grateful to diversity. When we started Design 101, MOOC was a very fashionable term, and everywhere people were talking about MOOC, about how everything would have been a MOOC. We really never trust into this hype, and we shape our system in a fairly different way. And I'm very happy to say that now what we've done is very stable, grows, becomes stronger and more powerful. But this is not exactly what happens if you check all these fanciful MOOC things. So when you ask what are my expectations, I would say I don't have really much expectation, not because I'm not able to come up to a forecast, but rather because if you have a very precise and demanding expectation, the system breaks, or the system cannot fulfill that. But this is not about design 101 communities, but any system. So it's more that we work on upon an empirical process. We add one piece, we see if it works. If it works, we add more. If it doesn't work, we drop, and so on. This regards activities, ideas, software, social media channels, people. Like I'm enormously impressed to know that our course every day is translated into several languages. But this was not an expectation of mine, and it is not that if there is the Portuguese version of Design 101, I'm happier or we are more successful. It is an interesting dynamic we are observing, and so on. As you know, in the last 2 years, especially last 6 months, I've been working hard in Expo 2015, where I was the responsible of all the social media. That I was responsible of 20 people developing the most powerful communication arm of Expo 2015. So in the same way, every day in Design 101, every day we deal with some 100 people or some 1,000. In Expo, every day we were dealing with some million people. By any definition, it is a cutting-edge experience in a very. It is not. It is an experimental. Expo 2015 is a big corporation. If I have to observe what's happened there, it is exactly what we're doing now, multiply 10,000 times. So the social media of Expo 2015 worked perfectly because we were able to trigger all kinds of communities. Any top-down activities failed, while the activities who really succeeded and generated the communication success of the event were all the community-based activities. So there were people like us that upon different interests, they self-organize themselves, covering all kinds of activities, experiments, and so on. Again, exactly as we're doing, these people didn't do this to earn money or to get a job. They've done this because they like. My feeling, because I work in the field, is that these people, they develop a fantastic amount of knowledge, and they learn a great deal of skills that you can't learn in school and you cannot learn in the office. So if I was to summarize, Expo 2015 is, in terms of communication, define the system where the big agencies or the traditional way to organize communication and these kind of activities failed. They are not able to keep up the standard. The social media world, people don't like that. People like to do things as we're doing. So again, there is not an expectation. We observe the world, and it seems to me that the world goes in the direction where we are working on. And this is quite nice because else, very quick, you find yourself aside, or you find yourself owning a number of skills that no one wants or like anymore.
Anna,
Thank you.
and Isabel, from the beginning of the MOOC 2 years ago or so to now, MOOCs have changed a lot. So how are you adapting to these changes? Less students, fewer free courses, longer courses. What will be your business model if students become teachers?
Can you stop now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I repeat.
So you are adapting to these changes. Let's see. The students feel of the course. Okay, from the beginning of Design 101, MOOC have I wouldn't say the MOOCs have changed in these 2 years. The MOOC that was still around proved to be not sustainable. So you cannot imagine to run the MOOC as the American people, as all these fanciful things imagine, simply because basically MOOC generates, at best, MOOC generates a lot of visibility. At worst, MOOCs generate financial disaster. So, how are we adapting to these changes? Less students. Well, if we have less students, like I think how many? I think that in this in Design 101 Redux, every day some 100 people are posting their homework. Am I correct?
Yeah.
When we started 2 years ago, I think some 1,000 people were posting their homework.
Yes.
I think that if we move from 1,000 to hundreds, it's much better. It is actually you can develop. When we started 2 years ago, myself as a lead figure, I wouldn't even dare to comment because it was simply impossible. Because now, in these last 2-3 days, I started to comment and give like and to see what's happening. And although it is time-consuming, it is something that I and we can manage. So if there are less students, I think it's actually excellent. If there are fewer free courses, this also longer course. I don't know. I think that our format is fine. Of course, everything can be improved and can be done better, but it's fine. Anne-Sophie explained to me that this year almost no people ask for the paid certificate. Again, we learned this new thing. I'm not surprised that this year no students was the paid certificate. I was more impressed last year when a lot of people would pay for a certificate. That seemed to me very strange. Finally, in the way we follow the paid certificate because diversity really wanted, so it's fine. Let's see what's happening. I have to say that the amount of money that was received by us because of this certificate was ridiculous. So I think it was like 2,000–3,000 euro. Again, there is absolutely no possible comparison between the amount of work you have to do to define the whole process to evaluate, write, grade, and the money. So it seems to me more viable a system that students don't pay for a certificate, and we don't have to spend an endless amount of hours making exam and test and evaluation. What would be the business model if students become teacher? I think that for the time being, Design 101 does not have a business model. In this moment, we are trying to minimize cost. I think that this current version would cost us 20,000 euro. It is a lot of money for a person. That is an investment that a company can sustain. Let's imagine we could say that during the winter we develop ourselves a new course. I don't know, video making 101. Does it really make a difference if this course is done by us, by myself, or by Anne-Sophie, or if it is done by a student? No, not really. As a general, people don't get very rich or
Kada, there's someone who came in. Kada. Strange. Also, Shara disappeared. Oh no, Shara is there. No, who disappeared? Very strange. Give me 2 minutes.
Anne-Sophie?
Yes.
I
wrote him a message.
Yes, we have Carlos Diaz, Cristina Neral, and
No more Wi-Fi.
Isabel, and Satsa saying hi.
Hello. Hi.
And the last question was from Christina asking us, when do you plan design 102?
No, design 102, no. I think we're going to stay in the 101s. It's much easier. Christina Neral, you said, is asking?
Yes.
This is already design 102. It's completely different than last year. The first week was very similar, but then we go, then it's different, you'll see. Okay, Stefano is trying to fix. No, I think that it's nice to stay in the 101. I think we would be more ready to create more 101s and maybe eventually in 3 years go for 102s if things go extremely well, but it's very easy. It's much easier to teach 101s in MOOCs than 102s. Anna?
I'm sorry?
No, sorry, I saw a message from you, but it was on...
Okay.
Okay. Well, we can wait another 5 minutes. Does anyone else have...
Do you know where in Croatia the party will be?
Where in Croatia? It will be in Labin, close to Pula. We were supposed to go for a first meeting next week. Anna, can I put you on mute just because? Okay, you put. Okay, sorry. We were planning on going to meet them next week. I think the meeting was for the 16th to the 18th of November, and finally, the beginning of this week, it got cancelled because they're having basically elections there at the center, and it was very complicated for them to get the approval of us coming, and etc., etc. But I'm pretty sure that this will absolutely take place during exactly in the days we announced. So 24, I think, of April, 24th of April, the end of April. And yes, it will be in Labine, Labin. So Katie, we'll see you there.
I'm hoping, and maybe I'll bring my husband this time.
Because I heard Karen was coming as well.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Indeed. And Mario and Vivian also.
Yes, yes.
Miri, you're coming back, huh?
I hope so, Lee. I hope so.
And what about so any other question? Any?
No. Last one comment was Marina, and it was from Twitter, and she said, "Tom's support for Stefano for the sociological approach."
Okay. Stefano's back. So we were talking about our business model that we do not have. Hello, hello. Hey, Stefano. You hear us? Hello. Hello. Hello, hello. Who was that? Okay, Stefano, do you hear us?
Okay.
That was me texting him. Hello, hello. Bon. Did we answer to Isabel's question? Do you know? Is she happy with the answer? So what will be our business model if students become teachers? Ah, gone again. No. So it's already 11.
Yes.
I say we can continue this conversation, or if you have anyone has questions in the next days, or it can be on this document, it can be on social media. We can have another hangout. So if anyone is interested in having a hangout, we like to have hangouts. And yes, I would call it off for tonight. Anna, Christina, would you like to say anything? So tomorrow we meet.
Sure.
To develop version 2 of social media plan, and our goal is to present it to everyone before Sunday at noon, I think, right?
Ooh.
It has to be, yes.
Okay.
Because there are lots of other things to do, so before Sunday at noon we should come with a version 2 of social media plan with already a lot more of details, people's names, schedule, time, timelines, etc., etc. We can do it.
Okay.
I know we can. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for the 15 viewers.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Interact with all of you. And yeah, so we see each other in the community, on the arena, everywhere. So now I stop the broadcast. See you soon.